So like someone messaged me late last night, probably like 1 in the morning, but she just got off of work. She's in the center. She's in Illinois, so I'm getting ready to call her now, and she's ready to get started. So I'm gonna close on her real quick, then I'm gonna jump right back on the Breakfast Club. So
There you go.
that's
So
it.
I'll reach out to you. We'll figure something out. And I think Keisha says she's going to figure out what days will be best for us, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I think she said Wednesday may be better because Penelope, being that she's on the West Coast, Penelope rather not have to be forced to wake up early. So we might be taking Penelope's day. We're going to talk to Penelope about that and see how everything goes. But I talked to Keisha before I talked to anybody else, so I made sure I got permission.
It works with me, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Nate the Great, you're in. I'm going to shut my mic off and take it away, brother.
Oh no, man. Well, what did I miss? I hear Corey about to go close some deals. That's what's up.
So basically, to give you a quick rundown of what we were discussing was I called Keisha, and I've been reading a lot. You can ask my wife. I've been reading almost every single day and listening. But anyway, I was listening to this guy named Alex. I don't remember his name, but I'll send the information. I sent the YouTube in the chat last week on while we're on the Breakfast Club. But anyway, he really broke some things down. No matter what business you're in sales. If you're in business, it doesn't matter. There's no exception. And in order for your business to grow, you obviously have to bring in revenue. The only way to bring in revenue is to market and sell. A lot of us know that we're in this, but aren't willing to take the action to actually go make the sales. And so I literally fired a couple of my agents recently. I told them, yo, get out of my business. I don't want you here. Like, no joke. I told them, get out. And then a couple of them came to me crying. I'm like, well, you can't be crying about an issue if you're not taking care of it. So long story short, I'm an agent again, and I'm absolutely fine. I lost my senior field agent status, and I'm an agent again. And so with that being said, I was like, what needs to be done? Build that foundation properly. But in order to build that foundation, you need to know how to make sales yourself as well as recruit. The best person on here I know who knows how to make sales is Corey. There's nobody else that I'm seeing his name consistently. So I asked Keisha, hey, we need to teach people how to do sales on a consistent basis and duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. So I asked for permission. I said, I don't know which day would be best for you. And we think that maybe Wednesday. So I'm going to talk to Penelope first. And he will be teaching sales as well as I'll be teaching tactics in order to close sales with an ethical, proactive and positive way so that we can start producing more. And it's going to be shared so that we all are benefiting from it so that we can all benefit Keisha, Jabari, Alyssa, and up. That was it.
Okay. Sound like a plan. Wednesday it is. I'm excited for Wednesday. That's what's up, Corey. And Corey and Bryce. I appreciate you, Bryce, for taking that initiative, being that budding leader that you are, and being so transparent, with us and letting us know that you're starting over. A lot of us should have that, even if we aren't actually starting over. We should still have that mindset of every week we're a brand new agent. I keep coming back to, we can't celebrate too long. Last week's victories, that happened last week. It's a new week. We have to turn the page. We're starting over. The key is, it's great that you did it that week, but what separates the good from the great are those individuals who can do it consistently every week. You know what I mean? So doing it again and again, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. I want to, before we get into all of that, I want to ask it's Monday. How was your weekend? How's everybody doing? Put it in the chat. You can unmute. I see Corey closing the deal. We got VP Beck and Branch in the building. He's closing deals as we speak as well. Anybody, any exciting news, any wins over the weekend, anything you want to share before we hop in this morning? Was it pretty basic? Nothing exciting? I know I got some exciting news this weekend. A client of ours actually got 6 student loans deleted off of their actual credit report within their first round of disputes. So I'm not telling people, don't tell everybody the dream's gonna come true in 30 days. But, that was pretty exciting. You know, six student loans were deleted from her credit profile. Get excited about that. I'll actually drop the actual result in the chat. I neglected to do that, but I'll put it in Jabari and in Keisha's chat so you all can see that and share it with your clients and your prospects rather. But yeah, so today, I mean, if no, I see Corey. I mean, why do I keep wanting to call you Corey? Bryce. I see Bryce was.
We kind of look alike. Corey ironically looks like my cousin Corey, which is funny. But
wow.
Yeah, true story. But real quick, so I finally got my dispute letters and everything was put in and verified. It's funny, when that came through, the next day, Penelope and some other people, I don't remember the ladies' names. Some of them are in California, in Atlanta, but basically said, even if it's verified, still there's Penelope. Please send it in. Make sure that you're following through. At the same time, I started my student loan manager. So I was told, Corey, that once I started going through that, I'd let them know what's going on. So my student manager put everything through. I had to send everything over at Nelnet. So those two processes are being taken care of. So I will keep everybody updated on both my student loan manager process, because I'm going through it myself. I have $19,000 of student loans, as well as the dispute process. The best way to a client is first to be a product of your product. So make sure that you're not just trying to sell this. Make sure you're.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Penelope.
Morning, Penelope.
Really quick, as you can hear, but I jumped in the shower. I'm running late. But I just wanted to share a few things. I'll actually have it in Keisha's chat and then they can forward it. One of my clients with the 500 credit score in September, and I had her do a testimony. We took some pictures. But I love the fact that the debt payoff system.
No.
Okay, so I'm super excited about that. I wanted to share that. This weekend was huge. On a gym, on an AAU team, actually bagged a bunch of the parents this weekend because the owner, which is my business partner, when they heard her testimony, I keep telling people, just because people have money doesn't mean that they don't have credit issues. So it took her sharing that for them yet again to be like, okay, for real, I'm ready, because I can see. So I'm just really super excited about that. This is going to be a good week. As far as Wednesday goes, Corey, do what you need to do, because this is very important. Thank you, Bryce, for being passionate enough to even want to do this. I'm going to pass it to Nate so we can get into our training today.
So is that a permission for a yes, Penelope, that we can take your Wednesday?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it, guys. That's what it's all about. Teamwork, collaboration. We're getting it done. Those leaders stepping up, stand up. Y'all be weak at the knees. I need y'all to stand up. I don't know if y'all saw that on social media. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get into today's training. We're going to be talking about, developing, kind of what it takes to stand up, but to, stand up consistently, right? I'm willing to bet if you ask any, 6 or 7 figure earner, anyone that has seen, any type of level of success, they would attribute their success. I mean, I would say I'm willing to bet that only 1% of that success was due to being, motivated, was motivation, right? And I know that might, be weird sounding to some of you, but, I really want to identify that it takes more than motivation to be successful. Any type of level of success that whatever that looks like for you, is going to take more than you just, being motivated to do it, right? You have to exude a certain or possess a certain level of discipline that'll get you to that next level, right? And so what does that mean? So, I mean, if I could put it into layman's terms, just to before, there is a video and I do want to hop into it. But for example, you say for example, you want to, get your body together, right? You want to, get fit, you want to, look different in your clothes. You want to, get to your, whatever goal size that is, whatever the case may be, right? And so, you start researching, you begin, following individuals on social media who, maybe, are doing what it is that you want to do, or, you may be, looking up, different workout gear, right? You're online shopping for clothes and shoes that, you can, work out in and be comfortable to really get to your goals. You get a gym membership, right? That, you're able to, plug into this place where you can go and use the equipment and get to, get everything that you need to get to the next level, right? And so it starts off, you're motivated, you're excited. I'm about to reach these goals. I have everything I need. Everything is in place. I have my membership. I have everything I need. Let's do it. You go to the gym, right? Consistently, right? The first moment you're motivated, the first moment you don't reach your goal, be it a weight goal, be it whatever that goal is, the difference between the person that's motivated and disciplined is the motivated person is going to stop going to the gym because they didn't meet the goal. But if you're disciplined, you're going to push through, right? And so I want to get into this video real quick, really identifying what it takes to be self-discipline.
In my seminars the last few years.
That's not the video.
Self-discipline is the center of
all
material success. You cannot win the war against the world
Loud and clear.
if you can't win the war against your own mind.
The rewards of a disciplined life are great, but they're often delayed until some time in the future. The rewards for the lack of discipline are immediate, but they are minor in comparison to the immeasurable rewards of consistent self-discipline. An immediate reward for lack of discipline is a fun day at the beach. A future reward of discipline is owning the beach. For most, we choose today's pleasure rather than tomorrow's fortune.
You don't get discipline from your parents, from your grandparents, from your older brothers and sisters. You don't get discipline from an external source. You have to get it from you. That's what self-discipline is. You get it from yourself. You get it from you.
Our world is and always will be a constant battle between the life of ease and its momentary rewards and a life of discipline and its far more significant rewards. Each has its own price, the price of discipline or the price of regret. We will pay one or the other.
You want to be more disciplined? Get after it. That's it, man. Get up early, do some kind of workout, eat good foods, clean your room, make a list of things that you're supposed to do in your life, and then wake up in the morning and do those things. That's what discipline is. And no, it is not easy. But you're not going to get it from anyone else but you. And it's worth it. And it is the thing that is going to bring you freedom.
What's at the core of achieving the good life? The major key to the good life. The major key is not in learning how to set goals. It is not in learning how to better manage your time. It is not in mastering the attributes of leadership. Every day in 1,000 different ways, we are trying to improve ourselves by learning how to do things. We spend a lifetime gathering knowledge in classrooms, in textbooks, in experiences. Now, if knowledge is power, if knowledge is the forerunner to success, then why do we fall short of our objectives? Why, in spite of all our knowledge and in spite of our collective experiences, do we find ourselves aimlessly wandering, settling for a life of existence rather than a life of substance? While there may be many answers to this question, the fundamental answer is the absence of discipline, applying all that we know. That's the key word, discipline. Self-discipline. We might add one more word here, consistent. Consistent self-discipline.
The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. The word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect.
Dreams without goals remain dreams. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. Between goals and achievement are discipline and consistency.
It takes consistent self-discipline to master the art of setting goals, to master the art of time management, to master the art of leadership, to master the art of parenting and relationships. If we don't make consistent self-discipline part of our daily lives, the results we seek will be sporadic and elusive. It takes a consistent effort to truly manage our valuable time, or we'll be consistently frustrated. It takes discipline to conquer the nagging voices in our minds, the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of poverty, the fear of a broken heart. It takes discipline to keep trying when that nagging voice within us brings up the possibility of failure. It takes discipline to change a habit, because habits are formed a little bit each day, every day, every day. Once habits are formed, they act like a giant cable. They act like a nearly unbreakable instinct that only long-term disciplined activity can change. We must unweave every strand of the cable of habits slowly and methodically until the cable that once held us in bondage becomes nothing more than scattered strands of wire. It takes the consistent application of a new discipline, a more desirable one to overcome one which is less desirable. It takes discipline to plan. It takes discipline to execute our plan. It takes discipline to look with full objectivity at the results of our applied plan. And it takes discipline to change either our plan or our method of executing that plan if the results are poor. It takes discipline to be firm when the world throws opinions at our feet. It takes discipline to ponder the value of someone else's opinion when our pride and our arrogance leads us to believe that we are the only ones with the answers.
Self-discipline is self-love. If you want to be happy, you have to love yourself, which means you have to discipline your behavior. The road to sustained happiness is through disciplining your behavior.
It's really easy to start something, but to finish something takes tremendous amount of will, right? At the start, everybody's inspired, they're full of enthusiasm and energy. And then halfway through the project, everybody looks at each other and go, whose idea was this? When you finish what you begin, it requires tremendous amount of will. So the way I develop my bicep is I use my bicep to lift weights to develop more bicep, right? I use my bicep to develop bicep. The way you develop willpower is you use your mental muscle to develop more muscle. So every time you finish what you begin, you're actually developing willpower. So for me, the way I develop willpower is I look at my average day and I go, what are the opportunities in my day that I can use to develop willpower? One simple thing that I talk about quite often is every day I sleep. So before I sleep, I floss, I brush my teeth, throw on my pajamas, I go to sleep. How do I finish the process of sleep? I make the bed in the morning. So when I make the bed, I finish what I begin and I'm developing willpower. So now most people look at mundane things throughout the day, like making the bed. It's kind of like, oh, it's a mundane task. Why should I waste time or energy? All those things are little acts to develop willpower. Imagine if you're taking a pebble and putting it in a jar every time, 2 weeks later, the jar will be filled with pebbles. So I looked at the tasks throughout the day, finishing those tasks as opportunities to develop willpower. And after a month, I developed tremendous amount of willpower. Now I can use that willpower and direct it with align it with my passion to create discipline in my life so that I can enjoy what I love more.
So how can you get rid of the easy distractions? How can you keep your mind on what you're trying to do? How can you keep an attitude of doing it all and doing it now? How can you make the choice of discipline over procrastination? How can you stay focused on your ambitions? You can keep your focus on your work. You can get it done today instead of tomorrow. You've got to really work on your consistent self-discipline on a daily basis, or you'll find yourself distracted. Distracted by negative thoughts, distracted by negative people, and pretty soon, depending on the type of people you've associated with, distracted by your doubts within yourself. Never underestimate the power of influence and associations, and never underestimate the power of your own consistent self-discipline.
Being from a disciplined family does not make you a disciplined person. Being in a disciplined group does not make you a disciplined person. What makes you a disciplined person is choosing to be disciplined. It doesn't come from your parents. You don't inherit it. And there's another piece here. It's called ownership, right? It's called ownership. And if you want to blame other people for the problem, and I say this all the time, if you don't take ownership of the problem's not going to get solved. So if you blame your parents for not having raised you in a disciplined environment, you're not going to solve that problem. You're looking at your parents saying, if you would have done a better job being more disciplined for me, I would be more disciplined now. So that means you can't do anything. The fact of the matter is it's wrong. You actually can do something. And it doesn't matter how your parents raised you and brought you up. You can have the discipline you need to decide to do it. There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are going to improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are going to make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Don't do the things that are making you weaker. Start doing the things that are going to make you stronger and smarter and faster and healthier and going to make you a better human being.
Now, if discipline is the key word and if discipline is the key action, then what exactly is discipline? One good answer might be that discipline is a constant human awareness of the need for action and a conscious act by us to implement that action. If our awareness and our implementations occur at the same time, then we begin a valued sequence of disciplined activity. Now, here's the other side of discipline. If there's considerable time that passes between the moment of awareness and the time of our implementation, then that is called procrastination. Doing it tomorrow instead of today. Procrastination, an almost exact opposite of discipline. The voice within us says, get it done. Discipline then says, do it now. Do it to the best of your ability, today, tomorrow, and always, until finally the worthy deed becomes instinctive. Procrastination says later, tomorrow, whenever I get a chance. In every circumstance we face, we are constantly presented with these two choices. Do it now or do it later. Discipline and procrastination. A choice between a disciplined existence bearing the fruit of achievement and contentment, or procrastination, the easy life for which the future will bear no fruit, only the bare branches of mediocrity. It's easier to go to bed late, sleep late, show up late, leave early. It's easier not to read. It's easier to turn on the television than to open a book. It's easier to do just enough than to do it all. Waiting is always easier than acting. Trying is always easier than doing. Imagine what life would be like if we didn't have to make our bed in the morning, or keep our garage clean, or pay our taxes, or show up for work tomorrow. Wouldn't it be fascinating if we didn't have to do these things? Wouldn't it be fascinating? What do you suppose would become of us? You're right. Not much. For whatever the reason, the system we live in and contribute to is designed to make the easiest things in life the most unprofitable. Profitable seems to be the most difficult. Our world is and always will be a constant battle between the life of ease and its momentary rewards and a life of discipline and its far more significant rewards. Each has its own price, the price of discipline or the price of regret. We will pay one or the other. What we wish we had done is the voice of regret, speaking in a sorrowful tone at a time when there is no going back. This is regret. No second chance. No, what would I do differently? Choose one or the other, but both will have their price, the price of discipline or the price of regret. One costs pennies, the other a fortune. The first lesson of discipline is that it isn't the easiest option. The second lesson of discipline is that it's a full-time activity. And we've said that the best form of discipline is consistent self-discipline. You see, the discipline that it takes to make your bed every day is the same discipline necessary for success in the world of business. The discipline to organize your garage is the same discipline to organize your business. All disciplines carry through to affect all parts of our lives. If we're disciplined in just one area and lazy in another, guess what? Pretty soon, the lazy side will creep in and destroy the disciplined side. The bad habits in one area of our life will eventually destroy our self-discipline in the areas we've been working on. Consistency cannot be inconsistent. Discipline is the mind being trained to control our lives. Discipline is a set of standards which we've selected as a personal code of conduct. Discipline is imposing on ourselves the requirements for honoring these standards. Once we've adopted these standards of behavior and conduct, we're committed to honor them. And if we don't, then there can be no disciplined activity. We find ourselves announcing our standards to our relatives, our friends, our associates. We shout our beliefs and condemn those who believe any differently, but then we don't walk the talk. We end up acting in a way far different from the beliefs we've shouted. We tell our kids that the TV is rotting their minds, yet we spend our evenings in front of it. We tell our employees that they must take advantage of every minute of the working day, yet we spend 3 hours at lunch. Do as I say, not as I do. This is inconsistent. This leads to a loss of credibility among those who watch us. And more importantly, this leads to a loss of credibility within ourselves. The only thing worse than one who is inconsistent in applying their self-imposed disciplines is one who has never considered the need or the value of discipline at all. These people seem to wander aimlessly, changing procedures, changing standards, changing loyalties, and shifting frequently from one commitment to another, leaving behind a trail of broken friendships, unfinished projects, and unfulfilled promises, all because of a discipline that was either non-existent or imposed so infrequently that it was ineffective. Here's the third step to becoming consistently self-disciplined. Number one is realizing that discipline isn't the easiest option. Number two, discipline is a full-time activity, day by day, every day. And the third step to becoming self-disciplined is really a philosophy that holds one of life's unique promises. Number three simply says, for every disciplined effort, there is a multiple reward. That's one of life's great arrangements. It's like the law of sowing and reaping. In fact, it's an extension of the biblical law that says if you sow well, you reap well. Now, here's a unique part of the law of sowing and reaping. Not only does it suggest that we'll all reap what we've sown, it also suggests that we'll reap much more. Life is full of laws that both govern and explain behaviors. But this may well be the major law we need to understand. For every disciplined effort, a multiple reward. For every disciplined effort, a multiple reward. What a concept. If you render unique service, your reward will be multiplied. If you're fair and honest and patient with others, your reward will be multiplied. If you give more than you expect to receive, your reward is more than you expect. But remember, the key word here, as you might well imagine, is discipline. Everything of value requires care and attention. Everything of value requires discipline. Children require discipline. They must have a structure built for them. They must have boundaries to work within so they feel secure and comfortable to explore and grow. They must learn to recognize what's right and what's wrong, what's acceptable behavior, what's not acceptable. Children require unwavering discipline, consistent discipline, or they'll be confused as to how they're supposed to behave. Likewise, our thoughts require discipline. We must set up our inner boundaries, our codes of conduct, or our thoughts will be confused. And with confused thoughts, we'll end up being confused, hopelessly lost in the maze of life. And confused thoughts produce confused results. Look around you at this very moment in time. What might you be doing that needs attention? Perhaps you're on the brink of giving up or starting over or starting out. And the only missing ingredient to your incredible success story in the future is a new and self-imposed discipline that will make you stay longer and try harder and work more intensely than you ever thought you possibly could. The most valuable form of discipline is the one that you impose on yourself. Don't wait for things to deteriorate so drastically that someone else must impose discipline into your life. Wouldn't that be tragic? How could you possibly explain the fact that someone else thought more of you than you thought of yourself? That they forced you to get up early and get out into the marketplace when you would have been content to let success go to someone else who cared more about themselves. Your life, my life, the life of each one of us is going to serve as either a warning or an example. A warning of the consequences of neglect, self-pity, lack of direction and ambition, or an example of talent put to use.
All right. Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot. I need to hear some feedback. What are your thoughts? Self-discipline. It starts with us, right? It starts with us.
If anybody wants to go before me, feel free to do so because I have something to say.
It starts with us, right? Self-discipline, right? I was intentional in discussing discipline, ensuring that we discuss self-discipline, right? Not just discipline as a whole. We know what discipline is. Well, a lot of times discipline gets like a negative connotation. Like we think of discipline like when we discipline our kids or, something, negative like that. But it's not necessarily negative, more so necessary, right? So what are some of the nuggets? Anyone, I know Bryce said he has something to say, but does anyone else have anything to say before we let Bryce go? I have some nuggets myself that I took away. It's all connected. I'll share one of mine and then I'll let you go. Bryce. It's all connected, right? So one thing that stood out, well, was a couple of things that stood out, but toward the end, we started discussing how, and this is kind of how I interpreted it, but it's all connected, right? Your bad habits are really stronger than your good ones, right? By nature, right? It's easy to slip into, our comfortable, the normal, right? I can, yeah. I got you, Corey. We can slip into the norm easily, right? And so that's why it's imperative that we plug into the different tools necessary to actually develop and build within ourselves the good skills that we need. We know we're all adults. This is what he said. We're all adults. So we know the things that we do that add value to our life and the things that we do that don't add value. Do those things that add value and don't do those things that don't. It was pretty simple. One of my takeaways, it's all connected, right? So it's imperative that we develop and, increase the activity to build those good habits. So that way they end up outweighing those bad habits, right? So Bryce.
So really quick, this just brings back to a lot of things that I'm personally going through right now. So I'm very passionate about this. We all want to achieve, we all want to do these things, but however, we just want it to magically happen. Oh, I want to go become a bodybuilder, but I'm not willing to get up in the morning to go to the gym. I want to lose weight, but I'm not willing to eat healthy. So what I've noticed is there's a key that we need to take part in, and that is to make the decision. Yes, but after that decision is made, we have to take action, which is again what we started talking about when we first came in today. You have to take that action. Without that action, it ain't happening. Yeah, you can decide all you want, but if you haven't stepped forward, it's not going on. So that's what the next thing. After that, you have to take the actions that allow you to then build that habit. I can't go and say I want to put on 15 pounds of muscle by going to lift up some weights today, but I can start lifting up a little bit of weight to start building and then adding and then adding, and then it becomes a habit. And after it's become a habit, it's no longer a discipline because it's been ingrained in you. He said that habits are like cables. Once you consistently do it, you need that cable to get, it's just going to keep pulling you in that direction. It becomes easier. And we all subconsciously know this. However, for some reason, I don't know how we're doing it. We're tricking ourselves into thinking that discipline and consistent effort isn't going to matter. So my takeaway from this is if you want to build a consistent habit, you have to take the consistent action on a consistent basis in the right direction in order to get you to those goals that you achieve. As well as if you know something is problematic, you have to discipline yourself to stay away from it, but not disciplined enough to stay away from it once, twice, but on an ongoing basis where you can cut it out. I personally have some bad habits that I had to get rid of, and I cut them cold turkey. Cutting something cold turkey is the hardest thing because you probably will go back to it. So you have to replace that bad habit with a new habit, i.e. discipline yourself to stay away from the bad habit and discipline yourself to replace that habit and keep moving in that direction. With that, I'm done.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say this. He touched on something that talked about regret, and he gave this definition. Hopefully I don't freeze. And he was saying decisions that you make or actions that you take or not take, it cost you a lot later. And so in our business, you should be posting on social media, but you don't want to. So while you're in that phase of I'm just not comfortable with it, it's costing you. But the moment that you start posting and people start interacting and responding to you, then it's, you have no regrets outside of the fact that I wish I would have done this sooner. And so not to get off topic, but just really quickly, because I had to have a discussion with my daughter this morning about the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. not gonna get into it. But you know, the first thing my daughter said was, "Is his wife sick?" No, she has the same thing I have, alopecia. She chose to cut her hair off. I ain't that bold yet. So shout out to Jada for cutting her hair off. But what I'm saying is that instant action could possibly cost Will Smith his career, respect from others, and it might cost him some money. So, you know, the thing that I told her was, ever do something you're gonna have to come back and apologize for. Because don't nobody want to hear it. So if you do what's right the first time, you don't have to apologize. So if you know you're supposed to be posting on social media, post. If you know you need to create a schedule where you're following up with people, create the schedule to follow up. Just do the system. You'll be all right. That's it. That's all.
Absolutely. Mr. Branch.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Penelope. Thank you for what you were talking about there with the whole Will Smith thing, and you know the actions that you might take, you know, that can cost you a lot. I want to thank everybody, you know, all 16 of you for joining in on this webinar this morning. The Breakfast Club, which has been going on, you know, for quite a while, religiously and with consistency, something that video that we just listened, been talking about. I'm seeing the same faces every, you know, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, you know, and that's the beginning of just being consistent. One of the things that I want to talk about is that, you know, while, you know, Jim Rohns were talking about, you know, discipline and the matter of consistency, I was here sitting, writing, you know, putting my schedule together, and I said, you know, when I was in the military, you know, it's been something where discipline has been one of the most major aspects of our life in the military. And a lot of times we ask the questions, why do we have to make up our bed perfectly every morning? It's a very simple task. It's a very easy task, but why is it more important than anything that we do on a daily basis? And it was said to us that that is the first success that you have in the morning, making your bed up. And I looked at it as making my bed up, but even Jim Rohn said it. He said, hey, listen, the same discipline that you use to make your bed, to clean out your garage, to do the basic things that you do on a regular basis is the exact same discipline that will require you to become a very successful person in life, to run a business, to run a large corporation of people, right? And that was one of the things that caught me. Another thing is that Denzel Washington, he spoke about it all the time. I listened to a lot of his motivational talks, and Denzel Washington said it. He said when he told Will Smith that during the break period at the event where Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and he said it to him. He said, when you are at your highest, that is when the devil presents himself. And we all got to sit here and start asking ourselves, are we at our highest? We are not, but we are destined to go to higher heights. The resistance that is going to come before us is real. It's not going to be a pebble dropping here, a pebble dropping there. It's going to be boulders hitting you. And it's up to you to have that discipline to say, do I let go? Do I let go, or do I just hold on? Holding on doesn't mean that you give up. Holding on doesn't mean that you're not going to move up. Holding on just means that you're going to take some boulders in the journey, but it has to stop. When it does stop, you know, you're going to dust your face out, clear the dust from your eyes, and you're going to keep climbing. You're going to keep moving up. You're going to keep striving to become better. And what does that look like? What are those bullets hitting you? Negativity, bad talk from other people, people telling you, hey, you know something, you can't do this business, Oh, you ain't signing up nobody. Oh, hey, your business ain't great. Hey, you lost your title. You ain't no good. You might as well go back get a job. That is not how it goes. In life, you're going to go up and down. It's a big roller coaster. But your goal is to become better and better. I saw someone post the other day, because I failed, that don't mean, it's over for me. That just means that, not in those words, that just means that, when I do get started over again, I'm not starting from the beginning. I'm starting from that point where I failed, but I'm going to correct it again and move forward. So guys, listen, this morning is Monday morning. So many of us probably saying, something, I can look to the left, look to the right and see so many things happening in the world. So many people saying my money ain't right. So many people saying, hey, I got so many personal issues that is going on. We all got it. Welcome to life. Welcome to the journey of life. But what you got to say, do I stop walking or do I stop running? I just say something, this is just too much for me. I'm going to just give up and I'm going to just sit down on the side of the road and hope that somebody come and hand me a piece of bread, hand me a lifeline, give me a ride to the other end. No, we don't look for rides here. We keep moving. We look at our business. We dissect where we have fallen short. We are the only people to know where we have failed. Nobody else can identify that more than you. We have to sit down and stay true to ourselves. Hey, am I getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning? Am I doing my morning devotion, whether I'm praying to the rocks or I'm praying to the Almighty God, no matter what? Am I saying, hey, let me get up, let me go to the gym, let me spend an hour working out, 45 minutes, whatever. I come back, I eat breakfast, take a shower, start listening to stuff that will fill your mind, with things to strengthen you. Am I doing all these things? Am I going on my social media and say, hey, let me start marketing? And all of this has to be done within a 2.5 hour period. I'm just going with military. It has to be done from the time you hit the ground. You got to have it done in a short period of time and effective. So guys, I'm extremely happy to see everyone here. Corey, I'm paying attention. You have been killing it with the customers. You identify where your problem is when it comes to getting agents. It's not something that you're strong in. We're not expecting for strength in all aspects. We're expecting for you to strengthen the aspects that you're weak in. And, I see so many upcoming leaders that are here on this call, so many people that will do phenomenal things in the future. Just block off the noise, block off everything that is coming into your ear, because a lot of people are going to say, block the noise out and get to work. Thank you, Nate. You can have it back.
Wow, VP, back in branch. Gonna drop the mic and pass it back to me, dropping gem after gem, nugget after nugget. I mean, my man. That's amazing. I appreciate, you connecting with this call and sharing that this morning, right? He has a military background and you can hear it in his voice, that discipline. And I can tell that it's the discipline that has attributed to, he's VP, right? He's done the work, right? And so I'm excited to have you connected with us, man. Ms. Woodbine, I see you've unmuted. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Wow, Nate, I am so proud of you doing your thing, leading this team, leading this morning in a breakfast club. And it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to have leaders that you can count on because life is life with people, period. So sometimes, we need to be able to depend on those people. And that's the only way to grow your business is to grow leaders, right? And that's even a book that we read too. Finding leaders in network marketing. That's huge. But thank you for this video. I mean, I've watched it before. So I kind of knew a little bit what was going on. And thank you to Beckham for that. That was amazing. Actually, Brooklyn was sitting here when he was talking, and I said, did you hear him say you got to go make, I said, go run upstairs and go make your bed. And that's what she did. But I heard him talk about that another morning. And actually, that's something I never really did. It was kind of like, oh my God, I'm rushing, hurry, get out of the bed. And I'm like, but now it's like, I like making it's like you get to walk in the here. It's just that of accomplishment. Like I did this in my room and it's like, okay, it doesn't feel crazy and cluttered. And yes, thank you. That's one accomplishment. So I've been actually teaching Brooklyn that, and this morning was crazy. And, you know, sometimes I don't remember to tell her, but I said, did you hear what he said? Go do that. So I appreciated that. One part I liked on the video that said, because, you know, discipline is the part where people fail at business, period. They said an immediate reward for lack of discipline is a fun day at the beach. But what do you say? A future reward of discipline is owning the beach. I need to own that beach. Okay. You know, Caribbean background, I need to be owning the beach. So, you know, let's just, you know, really be disciplined in what we're doing so we can own the beach, because for most, we choose today's pleasure farther than tomorrow's future fortune. That's what it said. For most, we choose today's pleasure rather than tomorrow's fortune. Because honestly, it's much easier to just go spend the day at the beach than trying to figure out how to own it. But imagine the feeling when we do own it. So, you know, at this age, at this time, we all have families that we need to think about. So let's just work on that discipline of doing what we got to do, of posting. You know, obviously Walter, he's been killing it. Congratulations to him. That's been amazing, dropping those bodies in there. You know, definitely want to, you know, big you up on that, because that's huge. Apolles, congratulations to you. She says she did it scared. Are you available to talk about what you did this weekend? You put your table out there, and I did. And I saw you. Yes, girl, congratulations. She put her table out there, and
congratulations, Apolles. I saw your pictures.
Yes, tell us about it. Tell us what it was, where you were.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was in my hometown, and my cousin actually did a spring pop-up shop, and I was like, I was sitting, I was telling my husband, I was like, I think I want to do it. And as soon as I said that, she sent the information to register. I was like, well, I guess that means I'm doing it. So I did it scared. I had my information out there. I was prepared. I was ready. I jumped on Penelope's training the other night just to get a few more nuggets, just to make sure that, you know, if those questions or certain questions came about, I had the posture and I had the information and I could relate it. But I can say, like I said, everything was taken just as it was. Like it was no, everything was good. Everything was great. Everybody that stopped by my table, I did give them the little treat bag, a Popeye bag. I thought that was really cute and something to remember me by. And I also, I did it also because I put my QR code on there. So, and I pointed it out to him and I told him, hey, listen, anytime you're ready, you know, you can go on there, get more information, you can see what it's all about. And if you don't need it, then pass it on, but definitely share it. So, like I said, I did a couple blue scores. I did share one. I did a couple of blue scores, still talking, having those conversations, but everything was good. I enjoyed myself. So I'm looking forward to doing much more. And I thank you all. Thank you. I thank y'all for everything. Like I listen, I don't say much. I listen and I'm doing it. It's definitely, all of this has definitely been a great help. So I appreciate
Tell
everyone.
us what was in the bag. What was in the pop-up bag? What was
it was just some mints. It was just some different types of peppermints. And the phrase was, your credit is meant to be fresh. And then yes. So it was like text credit to my phone number for a free detailed credit analysis. And of course, like I said, my QR code on the side so they can go to the website and see, and make sure that everything, well, they can go to my website and check out everything from there. But yes, it was real nice.
Your credit is meant to be fresh, y'all.
Yes, M-I-N-T.
M-I,
Yes.
right. I was about to say.
M-I-N-T.
Yes.
Meant to be fresh. I
Yes, and the
love
bag
that.
was full of, it was not full, but I had a couple different peppermint flavors in there. So yeah.
That's good. And she's doing that just from honestly seeing trainings, posting in the WhatsApp, being on the Breakfast Club, right?
Right. Yep.
You know, sometimes when your mentor may not be active or you may not see them on things, it doesn't matter. This is your business and you have to take control of your business regardless. And I really feel like that's what you've done. So congratulations to that. And I'm sure it took some self-discipline to be doing it.
It did, because oh my gosh, I had to get out of my own head, because that's where it was. And it to the day I was still in my own head and I was fighting. If I was like, you know what, I'm going, that's nothing but the devil. I'm going, I'm doing this. And I did it.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I'm gonna give it back to you, Nate. Anybody else? Because that self-discipline is real, man. It is. That's real.
It's real. It's real. And they said in the video, and I heard it at church one time, but I didn't know it was a military phrase. Everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. I'm like, whoa, what? And so I'm like, okay. But we really have to dead those old bad habits. We have to really become new, you know, right? And to really, you know, it was another book that I read that said, you know, don't make everybody wants to be $1 million earner, but like, you know, don't make the $1 million for just to make the money, but really develop. You have to develop into that person that can even generate $1 million, you know, that type of income, right? And so don't neglect that, right? And so before we end, I know we've been on for a while. I want to allow us to have some time to get to it, right? But I do want to give us something to, just a cooler activity, right? Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, you were breaking up for a second, but you're good now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Well, kind of, a little bit.
Okay. Well, real quick, I want to share this. I want us to do this activity, right? It's a cooler activity, right? We give yourself permission, right? This is something that was told to me a while ago. Give yourself permission to do something new. Give yourself permission to feel something new. Give yourself permission, right? Because we can agree that discipline within itself, this whole process is new for a lot of us, right? A lot of us are coming from, you know, corporate backgrounds. A lot of us, we come from different walks of life. So it may be, we can agree, regardless of whatever walk of life we come from, this is like nothing we've ever experienced, right? So you kind of have to give yourself that permission, right, to be all that you can be in life and be all that you can be within this company, right? So I'm gonna share this with you. It's a little permission slip, right? Give yourself permission. Can you all see this?
Now we can.
I, your name, give myself permission to follow my passion and take action today toward achieving my goals. This serves as a reminder that I blank, I dominate, I am dedicated, I am whatever that is for you, and no one can stop me from doing what brings me joy. I want each of you to screenshot this, right? And I want you to put this in the chat, whatever chat, every chat that you're in. I blank, give myself permission to follow my passion and take action today toward achieving my goals. This serves as a reminder that I dominate, that I kill it, that I crush it, no matter what, that I break the back of fear and no one can stop me from doing what brings me joy. Permission granted. And I want you to put your name on the bottom. You can screenshot it, print it off, put it on your wall, do what you got to do. But in all of that, I would love to see in the chat, in every single chat that you're in, I, LaShonda Marbles, give myself permission to follow my passion. I, Bryce Simmons, give myself permission to follow my passion and take action today, right? This is about action steps, right? Applied knowledge is what it's about. Knowledge is power, right? That's what they say, but it's really applied knowledge that's power, right? We have to take the action today toward achieving those goals. Small, simple steps. Making your bed, that's a small, simple step. We talked about that last week. Small, simple steps. I give myself permission to take those small, simple steps, and this actual reminder serves as that reminder that no one can stop me from doing what brings me joy. Is that fair enough?
Yep, nobody can stop us from what's bringing us joy.
Fair enough?
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Nate. That was awesome. Yes, VP, let's go.
All right, well, any last questions? Ms. Woodbine, do you have anything to say before we disconnect?
No, I mean, I'm excited. A new week.
Let's kill it.
Yeah, time to kill it and write that person out for real. It's time that y'all step up and do that. Like if y'all faces on here, you're need to be on top producers, period. Like if you coming on here every single 3 times a week, I need to see your name on the top producer. Appaless was one of that. Yep, Appaless was one of them on the top producer. Walter, Corey, everyone, Dominique, I'm sure Bryce. You know, you guys gotta, let's do this thing. Let's go. All right, I'll be looking out. Nate, you want to close? Good, everybody. Whoop, whoop. Monday. Look, if you were in a 9 to 5, you hate Mondays. But when you got your own job, Mondays, you love Mondays. Okay.
It's lit.
A new week to make new money. New money. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
Love y'all. See y'all.
Have a
See y'all
good
later.
one.
Have a good one, y'all.